And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live here on a Sunday evening. If you missed it, we had a fantastic show earlier this afternoon around 4 o'clock. We had the great former MLB player Matt Stairs joined the show. It was a fantastic interview. If you guys haven't got a chance to see it, make sure you go check out our YouTube, Giant Sports Talk Live, and check out that interview. The interview was fantastic. Got a lot of great information. Sounds like he had a lot of fun doing the show as well, Glenn.
Yeah, I was glad I reached out to him. In fact, one of the guys tuned in to watch the show while it aired was Bruce Hallahan. He is with the newspaper in Fredericton. He was the guy I reached out to because I had gotten, I don't know how many new phones over the years, and I had lost Matt's number. So he put me in touch with him, Tuesday or Wednesday last week. Matt says, I just got back from a tournament. And he had a bunch of autograph sessions lined up for last week. He says, can we do it Sunday? And you and I brainstormed. I said, can we fit him in? And lo and behold, with a 4-hour time difference, it allowed us to get him on our late afternoon. It was like, geez, he's in bed now, Eric. He wrapped up the show with us at 8, 9, 10 at night. So
right,
ideal to get the guy on a Sunday afternoon after a Giants game. A game, quite frankly, that I had no interest in even talking about till I calmed down a bit because I have now thrown in the towel. But during our interview, you touched on it right off the top. Great takes by Matt, and Matt was not afraid to dish it. He goes, guys, I'm going to be on your show. I'm going to speak my mind. And he did, and it was great.
He did. Oh, yeah. Loved it. So, again, if you guys haven't got a chance to see it, go check it out. It's there on our YouTube. You will not be disappointed. Giants. Tough, man. Tough loss. Another one-run loss. All 3 games, right, were decided by one run. Robbie Ray, unfortunately, only lasted about 3 innings. I gotta, matter of fact, here, let's just show this real quick before we get into anything else. The latest from Susan Slusser, reposted by Alex Pavovich, says Ray will get an MRI tomorrow. He's hopeful it was caught in time so he doesn't miss many starts, but can't say. He hasn't had hamstring issues before. So take it for what it's worth. He's going to go for an MRI. I don't know. He's probably going to miss at least a couple of starts. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. But you know what? The master's plan was, Eric, bring in all these broken bits and pieces. They'll all get healthy in the second half. And what is it? Bunch of broken down bits and pieces we're facing with now. And look, 2 weeks ago, Eric, you played the clip. It's no news to people in this channel. Farhan Zaidi said at the trade deadline, look what I built. We have the greatest pitching staff in baseball. What a load of crap that has turned out to be, Eric. What a load of crap.
No, we faced the team that has the best baseball rotation in baseball. That's what we wind up doing.
Yeah, then we do get some people that irritate me in our chat. They go, look, we only got 7 hits. Well, look at the pitching staff we're facing. And other games didn't have 7 hits between the two teams. We'll take a look at the scoreboard later. But we did lose our game today, and we lost the series, Eric. We've got Scott Mullum, who's in Seattle. And he joins us tonight on Giant Sports Talk Live. Hi, Scott.
Right on.
Hey, how you doing?
Not good to be a Giant fan. How are things up in Seattle?
Well, not much better being a Mariner fan. So, I mean, every move we've made for offense is not panned out. Every single move.
No. Okay, the big news heading into the series. You win the series, but before it even got underway, managerial change and an old familiar face, Dan Wilson, kind of a face of the franchise at one point, and a fan favorite. I hope he's not set up in a bad situation, being that, the friendly guy, the fans love him. He's taken over a team that was scuffling coming in.
Yes. And in typical Mariner fashion, Scott Service finds out through social media that he's been fired. They don't handle it the right way even. Very typical of the Mariners. Kind of starts at the top. It doesn't seem like a lot of other teams have problems hitting in Seattle, but the last 20 years, the Mariners have really struggled.
Sounds like the San Francisco Giants, to be honest with you. Sounds like the Giants. Interesting. So you're talking about issues up top. Is it DePoto? Is it your president of baseball ops, or is it higher than that?
It might be even higher. It's just been kind of a just meddling and just terrible franchise for the last 20 years. And we would kind of like to see it clean house and start over, and just something, has to be a definite change of atmosphere and mindset and a winning tradition. And
I like it. It sounds just like the Giants. And honestly, it really does.
Yeah, the difference is the Giants has 3 World Series in the last 15, 20 years, right? So we have never been to a World Series, so it's been brutal.
I can understand.
And really, as an old Mariner guy myself, you go back from the night Diego Segui threw out that first pitch at the Kingdom in 77. Yeah. You've only really had one big run, haven't you? One run in all these years. Of course, I guess it was the year I'm calling that saved Mariners baseball in Seattle.
95, yeah.
And you always seem to run into Cleveland. Jeez, Cleveland.
Yeah. 95 team was really good. We beat the Yankees in a tough, emotional 5-game series, and I think they were just happy to get past the Yankees, and they didn't have a lot left to face Cleveland. We kind of disappointing 4-2. But then 97 we had a great team, laid an egg in the playoffs. 01, 116 wins, most wins of all time. Losing the ALCS. So it just, years of disappointment. And it's tough because, we come in the same year as the Blue Jays. They won titles. The Marlins come into league. They won 2 titles. We have
Arizona.
Nothing. Yeah, Arizona. Yeah, definitely. So it's hard. It's, a lifetime Mariner fan. I've been going to games since 77. I just hope I get to see one World Series victory before I die. That's it. That's all I want.
That's all I'm asking.
Well, it might be a lot to beg for. Dave Meows. Meows had that call, home plate. Remember, here comes Edgar. Oh, Edgar hit the hole down the line. Were you at that game? And really, I've read in many books. I have a lot of books on the Mariners. Did that save that one game? Did that save baseball in Seattle?
Not the one game. I think the whole lead up to it. If we didn't get to the playoffs, it probably saved us. We probably would have lost the team if we didn't get to the playoffs. But yeah, we were at all 3 games of that series. Great electric atmosphere. I've never felt anything like that since for baseball wise in the city.
That was in the Old Kingdom.
Old Kingdom sold out, and it was a great feeling. We celebrated. We kind of being jerks. We were probably, how old was I? Like 29 at the time. Like us, my friends, we all went out there and we're still celebrating. We go outside and watch. We kind of wave goodbye to the Yankees bus as it pulls out of the Kingdom and has to go home for a long 5-hour trip home. So but everybody hated the Yankees then. So still do, kind of.
Speaking about the Mariners right now, you guys got the pitching is just incredible. With the Mariners, so you have that
starters.
Yeah, starters.
Our bullpen has really been not so great the last few months.
Gotcha. But the starter, I mean, you need that though to make that run as far as the postseason. But you got some great hitters. I mean, you got Julio Rodriguez, you got Cal Raleigh. Now, granted, he's all power. He's all guts, no glory type of thing.
Yeah.
You got Haniger is kind of having a little bit of a resurgence. I mean, granted, but the thing is with the batting average, it's like that across the entire league. It's just different. Today's 240 is, 5 years ago was 290.
Yeah.
So a little bit weird the way that league is gone, but man, you guys are kind of like on the cusp, right?
Well, yeah, but we have a window of 2 to 3 years where these guys are under player control. They're under contracts. In 3 years from now, Logan Gilbert's going to be getting 20, 30 million a year. George Kirby's going to be getting 20 million a year. And we just won't be able to afford to keep all those guys. Castillo's already making 25 a year.
Right.
So our window is right now. You have 3 years, kind of like NFL, where when your quarterback's on the rookie deal, like when Russell Wilson was on his rookie deal, we could afford to have the 4th highest paid offensive line. And our defense was probably one of the top salaries in all of football. We had one of the best defense that year. So that's the same situation. We have to do that right now when our pitchers aren't making the $25-30 million a year.
Right. Gotcha.
So very,
Eric, isn't it funny, interesting? He says that, a 3-year window. Problem here, Scott, is our ownership has a guy in place in the manager's box, a general manager's box, who signs guys to 3-year contracts with year 1 outs and year 2 outs. And then in other words, he signs them to 1-year deals. He's got Matt Chapman on a 3-year deal. No, Matt Chapman has an out this year, and he can opt out next year. So really, it's a 3-year deal. At least you got 3 years, because every time we get a good player, it seems we lose him after the first. Right, Eric?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It's weird the way Farhan. I mean, it's been difficult. We had that magical year in 21, but I don't put that on Farhan by any means. That's Buster Posey, Brendan Belt, and Brandon Crawford all having career years. But since then, he really hasn't done a whole lot. And we I'm not going to say kind of. We've been after him just because it's the way he does his roster construction and the way he does his contracts and some of the things he says, and then it's exactly the opposite of what he does. It gets really frustrating. As far as a Giants fan recently. Now, when it was the heyday of Brian Sabian, don't get me wrong, there was still criticism, but not like it is with Farhan Zaidi running the show right now.
Yeah, the guy will come out and say, I do not sign. We'll miss out on a pitcher. And he'll say, I would not sign a pitcher to a 5-year deal. And then 8 days later, signs a guy to a 5-year extension. So Eric traditionally calls him the liar. He lies and then he had the audacity 2 weeks ago at trade deadline to say, we have the greatest pitching in baseball. What a load of crap that was, right?
Yeah, exactly. The best rotation.
Yeah, as an outsider, you go, what?
Yeah.
I think you have the tallest pitcher I've ever seen pitch. I've never seen a 7-footer on the mound. That was monstrous. It was crazy. But yeah, you guys made a splash. You had Snell, but he missed all spring training. And, watching that yesterday, I mean, that must have been like a train wreck watching for you guys. I mean, the guy's we couldn't hit the guy, and yet he couldn't throw a strike. And
he didn't give up one hit, but he walked everybody.
It lasted 3 innings. Yeah, he only could get through 3. It's like, well, the amazing stat was I was blown away. When he threw his no-hitter, that was the first time he's ever pitched in the 9th inning. That's crazy. He's a Cy Young winner. He's never pitched in the 9th inning. And a lot of us really wanted us to make a splash. He's a local boy, Seattle guy. We really wanted him. And I think he would have given us a hometown discount. But with that being said, it was still been 25 instead of what'd you guys give him, 32 or something for one?
Yes.
And he's got the out. So if he's doing good, then same thing. He'll be gone, right? But
we're all saying that he's probably going to opt out for free agent. He's probably going to try to test those waters again because he hasn't got his bag yet. So I guarantee you I would not be surprised one bit if he hits free agency again, even though he's got that, all these opt-outs for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
He's got a chance to have that. Yeah.
I hate these contracts.
I hate them.
It kind of reminds me of everything going on with college sports where they NIL and these transfer rules where you don't even have to sit out anymore. Mm-hmm. That's what these 1-year contracts do. It's all on the player. The player has all control on that, seems like to me.
Yes.
And, if they succeed and kick ass, then they're going to leave the team.
Yep. It's a dual-edged sword. If they suck, you're stuck with them.
Yes.
You're gone. Yeah. It's
not a fan. Not a fan of that. The change is going on. And it's been, the offense. Yeah, it's really, like you said, guy hitting 220 now is an average hitter. When that used to be the laughing stock or the guy would get cut. And then it was interesting. You guys read up about the rule changes they're, thinking about, making over the next few years.
We talked about them. And in fact, we had a guy on our show. We did our special. We did a special today with Matt Stairs. Matt came on for, just over an hour and a half with us today, talking about old school baseball, losing Oakland, where he played a long part of his career. So he was talking about some of the rule changes, and he didn't seem he didn't seem very happy about it.
He wasn't happy.
I kept just watching the game yesterday, watching Snell.
Even the money. I said, you didn't make the money even in his career, which is just a stone's throw back in time. Only not even a generation ago. And I said, Matt, look at these guys, the money they make. He goes, hey, you don't deserve it. He goes, and what did he say, Eric? Something to the effect of a guy is batting 230. And he had played in Japan for a year. He goes, Christ, in Japan, if you were a 300 hitter and you batted 230, the next season, your contract would be restructured. You'd be making bare bones. You were paid to play and produce there.
That'd be nice.
To be honest with you, isn't that what you should do? Isn't that way it should be? You get paid for your production. Yeah.
You would sure think so. It's not never gonna happen.
It'd be a better game.
So the epitome of Giants baseball was Friday night. You know, you say yesterday was kind of bizarre. Friday night. My God, some of the guys in our chat joined us for the show and they thought we won. They were 5 minutes in. They're like, what are you talking about? Have you been to many Mariner games lately? I know you are at a majority.
A couple that, you know.
You got a busy schedule in 2024. So I just wondered how many you'd gotten to down there.
3, I think, is all.
That's it.
That's it.
What have you thrown in the towel too early?
No. It's the older you get when you're. The traffic here is atrocious, which you guys are very familiar with San Francisco. And it gets to the point where, like, okay, you can watch it at home on your big screen and
best seat in the house.
Have a beer, or you fight the traffic and parking and everything else. So older I get, the less games I go to, unfortunately. So
and Griffey has left the house. He left the building, so it's not quite the same, is it? Eric, you got some questions?
Yeah. What is your expectations of the Mariners? I know they were kind of in the thick of it there for a while. They got the series win, which is good. Do you think that the new changes with having Edgar as your hitting coach and Dan Wilson now as the manager, you think that's going to make some changes for the club in a positive way?
I think so, but I mean, it was so late in the game. They did it with 35 games to go. Like, I don't know what they expected to happen this year. I wish it would have been a month earlier. I think next year and everything going forward, yes, it definitely will. I think you're getting, all of a sudden you got Edgar Martinez, Hall of Famer. Dan Wilson was, one of our best players of all time there. So at least they're moving that direction where they've had, at least there's guys that have done it and been there. So we're excited about that. The hitting thing, I do not know what happened. Julio, for him to have 7 or 8 home runs with just a month of the season to go, you would never have dreamed it. Like, we picked up Randy Rosarina, and the guy's got like 1 home run for us, and he was 1 for 30. His last 31 going into today. It's like, holy cow! You would never imagine. Seems like everything we try just doesn't work out up here for hitting wise. It's been tough. Really,
who has impressed me in the series is that kid Rivas.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he has a quality bat. I like what he does.
Great glove, defensive. Yeah. He just goes up there, makes contact. I think he was like 7 of last 15 going into yesterday, I believe. And JP Crawford just starting his rehab, but to be honest, this Rivas kid is better hitters than JP was this year. JP's only like 210 or something for the year.
Right.
So, pretty rough.
We'll see. Maybe the hitting, maybe Edgar has that match again. It's all if he's able to teach, you know how it is. I mean, you could be a Barry Bonds, but if you're not able to teach the craft, then you're really not getting anywhere. I don't know what the history on Edgar is. If he is,
well, he'd been their batting coach for about 3 years, and he was middle of pack, anywhere from like 7th to like 16th. Way better than like right now we're like 28th or 29th.
Gotcha.
So a lot better, but it's hard to tell. It's we'll try anything. We're desperate.
In the offseason, at least you've got to give management credit, because while we traditionally are a team that never wants to take a risk, Farhan will go out and I call him the bottom feeder. He
He's
goes and
risk
gets
averse.
people's rejects. He doesn't want to spend any money on any talent. He goes, then he'll sign 12 players, and if one has a great year, but at least you got to give management credit, because I thought at least they've been aggressive in the offseason. They signed a Rosarina, who I would have loved to have here. So maybe it didn't work out, but at least I think that you say it starts at the top. But
they always try.
They made some moves. They tried. They brought Haniger back, who's a fan favorite up there.
Yes.
Because the Giants let him go after 1 year.
Yeah, and I was just reading this earlier today about him as a DH. He's hitting like 280, 285. When he plays in the outfield, he's like 215. We're like, okay, so why isn't he full-time DH right now against left-handers?
Jesus, if he was here with San Francisco, the analytics department would have fixed that a long time ago, right, Eric? Well, the numbers say that you can't pitch on Tuesdays and it's cloudy, and no, we got to pull him out, move him a day. It's all analytics here, Scott.
Yes, yeah.
All analytics. That's the other thing that burns our britches here is I cannot believe the decisions are made. We had a pitching move, right, Eric? What was it, Wednesday last week? I can't remember what day it was now. We do the show every day. We had a pitching move made the other day, and the management after the game said, they blew it. That's what caused the whole stink. They blew the game late. They said, why did you take the pitcher out? Well, we decided earlier today he'd go 7 innings, and that was it.
Oh.
He was mowing him down. He could, and you see that too much over management of baseball.
Yeah.
The decision was made at lunch. Why don't they let the game play itself out? I don't get it.
100%. And then the same thing with the pitch. They look at the pitch counts, and if the guy's mowing him down, he's at 90, he can go another inning.
And that's the thing. Look, I'm sure they got numbers. Like if a pitcher, he tends to show weakness after pitch 95, whatever it may be. But if you're watching the game and he has it fully under control, the wheels aren't falling off. Okay, yeah, I understand he may be hitting a wall, but he's looking good right now. So let's run with it. Some common sense involved rather than just having the script. All right, at pitch this, he's got to come out no matter what.
Send him out there until somebody gets on base.
Yes.
And then pull him out.
We don't understand it. We don't understand it here.
Service was very bad about that too. He would pull guys. They were mowing them down 7 innings. Like they could go 8. But
and you know what happens in the playoffs? I always said, Eric, guys mowing him down. He's gone after 2 2/3.
Yeah.
That's playoff baseball these days. Whatever happened to that era of baseball, like in the 80s, when you'd see guys, you'd see a guy like Scott Bankhead go out. He's got 139 pitches under his belt tonight. He'd go out and start the ninth, or Jimmy Beattie, or these. When did the game change like this with these pitch counts and
money?
The Player Association. Definitely. They protect him. I kept thinking watching Snow yesterday when he was at like 55 pitches through 2 innings or whatever it was. I'm like, well, this new rule that they're thinking about doing is the starter has to go 6 innings. I'm like, holy crap, he may be at 200 pitches if they had to leave him out there. It'd be kind of fascinating to watch some guys try to get through 6 innings. Like,
could you imagine? Arm falls off.
yeah. The agents would go nuts. The Players Association go crazy.
When they announced that a couple of weeks ago, I just heard rumors of it. I said, how's that going to even fly? That won't make it through the negotiation.
There's no way the players would ever sign off on that. But it'd be fascinating. It would definitely have more scoring. But you'd have longer games again, and that's kind of what they don't want to get to again. It's funny, they don't want long games, but they also they want scoring. So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
We have Matt Stairs. Matt came on, and several of his takes, Eric and Scott, were Matt's a traditionalist in many, many ways. He likes, it didn't. I said to him, well, really, it wasn't broken for over 100 years. He goes, exactly. And then they came in and made all these changes. But the one he did kind of endorse was having more teams make the postseason. Eric and I we'd have nothing to talk about in the post games each and every night, other than the score and sign off this show. We're taking a look at the wild card every night. There's baseball going on. It's sometimes in September, right up to the final day of the year, teams are fighting for that last playoff. Where you weren't, 10, 15 years ago, if you didn't win your division, you were out of it in March, April, spring training, literally. You were like, we can't win. The season was already a write-off. At least now you get something to play for. Matt actually stood up for that. He goes, I'm glad they added more teams, long overdue.
So you saw that affect the trade deadline, and you saw this was the first year ever there wasn't a top 100 prospect traded at the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many teams still in it. I mean, besides the White Sox.
Right. It was.
Hockey. I mean, so many teams are still in it, and it's really affected. That's why you didn't see a lot of marquee names.
True.
So
and that extra wild card, it's kind of a dual-edged sword for the simple fact, yes, you get more playoff teams involved, but you'll have those teams like the Giants who it's like, if we only could just win enough games to get to the wild card, rather than it being a full-throated push to, I want to win the World Series.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if it's one of those years where you got a bunch of teams that are like 90 plus wins and they're in the battle, I get it. But when you got teams who are trying to squeak in with 83 wins, look, I don't want a team that's barely cracking 500.
500, right.
Just sit there and say, oh yeah, we deserve a playoff berth. That's the part I don't like.
Yeah. You don't want to get like the NBA where more than half the teams make the playoffs or whatever it is. It dilutes
it. It dilutes. That's my feeling. I understand the excitement behind it if the teams are doing what they're supposed to be doing. But if it's not, and it's just like, come on. You're giving false expectations, especially to the fan base who are rooting. It's like, come on, man, this team ain't real. You get to play, you're going to get bounced as soon as you have your first playoff game.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, before we let you go, my career goes back to the hockey days. So you've jumped on board with the hockey team up in Seattle. You go, I believe you're a season ticket holder. What are your thoughts on first few seasons of hockey in the Northwest?
Great. Amazing sport, much better sport to watch in person than on TV.
It's exciting.
Very exciting game. The Kraken really nailed it with their jerseys, their sweaters. I mean, they are out of the ballpark. Great. A lot of disillusion, expectations with Seattle fans seeing what Vegas did. Yep. That's such a
that was an anomaly.
Yes, that was a miracle, one and done kind of thing. And this is honestly what expansion teams should do. We got into the playoffs second year, did good, won a few games, and then last year we took a step back and missed it. But that's kind of what you should kind of go through. And it's exciting. We're lots of excitement in the city.
Yeah, you miss that in the summer, and it's almost time. And the other thing is, you miss Supersonics basketball. Now what's going on? You wish you had NBA back. What all happened up there in the Northwest for you, man? You almost lost the Mariners. You got a hockey team. You don't have basketball.
We were just in Vegas, and we drove by where the A's are, having their stadium built, and part of me is like feeling bad about the Oakland fans, but they were competitive the last 20 years, several different times with a low budget team, and they'd still only get 1,000, 2,000 people there. I mean, they've had every chance to support them. Flip side, the Sonics, we sold out. Problem why we lost the Sonics is the city went and cave in and pay for an all new arena. So it stings. It still hurts. I'm not a real big fan of the NBA ever since, to be honest. But they've been dangling that over our head for the last 5-6 years that we're going to be getting one of these two expansion teams, us in Vegas. So we'll see. We hope so.
Vegas is cornering the market on sports, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. I mean that
hockey, football.
Have you been to a hockey game in their stadium, their pre-game and everything?
Oh yeah.
First class. It's great. So
yeah, they even built the stadium with the amenities around. Like you've been in there, obviously, right?
Yes. Yeah, we went down to the Kraken's first game was down in Vegas.
And fans who have seen hockey on television, it's one thing. As Scott said, you got to go in person. That arena more than anywhere else. They have the castle that's built up into the end zone of the arena.
Yeah.
It's all black and white, and all the guys, they have, like, the uniforms. They're all the drummers and all the how the band. And it all comes through all the casinos, through the plaza. Every night is an event there. It's not just a game.
100%. It's a great experience. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's something else. But yeah, in Vegas they've got the NHL, who have done well. They won a cup already. They had a magical first year with Fleury in goal. Then you've got so many others. Football, they love their NFL's going to be a big hit there regardless. A city that had gambling all those years, and everybody said, "Oh, you'll never have sports here." Yeah. They've got the WNBA. They've got everything. Now they're on the cusp of having literally every sport.
I know.
We're going to have to get you on a show some night, relive Mariner memories. Maybe you can, do a deep dive.
Look at that, Mike Schooler.
You do that guy, right?
Definitely.
The 5-cent Sportflix.
Yes, that was my heyday of chasing autographs and hanging out at the Kingdom. So
yeah. Hey, before Eric comes back, just for the guys in here, I do a little show and tell segment Monday to Friday, and I show them my 3 pickups of the day. I want to let them know you started out. You were kind of an autograph hound. Now you have a pretty big corporation of a business there. Bernice and I call it the Empire. You're doing pretty well with the sports memorabilia, aren't you?
Yeah. Things are great. We've been, we own Mill Creek Sports. We've been open this is our 33rd year, right out of college, and very blessed. I've been lucky to work with some great athletes that really have helped our business over the last 30 years. Yeah. Next year, our guy, Ichiro Suzuki, will be in the Hall of Fame. So that's our exclusive guy.
Good.
Can't wait to go to Cooperstown and watch him get inducted. My buddy Ken Griffey Jr., very lucky. Been dealing with him for 35 years now. So, yeah, very blessed. It's been fun.
And we met. We kind of bonded over baseball. We were in Dominican Republic, and you had a Mariner, an old school, I think the Trident Mariner hat. And I'm like, so you call yourself a Mariner fan? You're like, you call yourself. And before you know it, 3 hours later, we were throwing names around. And
I had a great
not only that, music. You're a big music fan, too.
Huge music. Yeah, definitely.
We go to a lot of shows together.
We got a ton of concerts. Yeah, we've got, ELO. Last night went to Midge Uri, who was member of Ultravox and Visage, and really incredible story. We saw him either at the 80s in the Sand one year, and we loved it. Last night there's 300 people there is all, and it was just an intimate
little intimate show.
Yeah, so we like that, and then we go to big stadium shows
indoors, too. Yeah. Right on. Okay, Eric has returned. Before we sign off with our special guest, Scott Mullen from up in Seattle tonight. Eric, anything you want to add? Questions, comments?
Oh, my goodness. With this last series with the Giants. And honestly, I was concerned. I didn't think it was going to be that close. I really thought Seattle. I didn't realize Seattle was that bad of a hitting team. Giants with runners in scoring position. Oh, forget about it. It's especially when they go to those extra innings. Forget about it, man. You gotta. It's like I wish the Giants could forfeit that runner at second and just start with the bases empty. Because
we're not kidding.
Seriously, when there's a guy on second or third, all of a sudden the hitting just
chance. Yeah, and then
always
next inning. Yeah, it drives me crazy. So, yes, understood.
Hey, Scott, thanks for joining, man. I appreciate
it. All right, guys. That's fun.
We'd like to get you on again, maybe in the postseason, have a chat.
All right. Well, hopefully Mariners are in there, so we'll see. All right, buddy.
At least we'll keep it neutral. If it doesn't look like the Giants are going to be there either, so we'll keep it neutral. We'll have.
All right, guys. Thanks, guys. All right, take care.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
There you go. Scott joining us. What a great guy, isn't he?
Yeah, great.
Has a love of baseball. Mariners, sports collectors. Did you hear me mention he's got the biggest sports collectibles warehouse on the West Coast?
Oh, you were telling me about that. Yeah. What kind of collection does he have? Is it just like just a whole bunch of everything, or is it specifically?
Well, he's not so. You know what differentiates him and I, Eric?
What's that?
I'm a poor man because I'm collecting it all. He's the rich guy because he sells it all.
Oh, gotcha.
He's a dealer.
Okay,
So,
question.
for example, Bernice
What's his
isn't here to
Wilmer
back me up
Flores
on this.
collection like?
Huh?
What's his Wilmer Flores collection like?
Oh, he doesn't have any. But we always get a good crack. I showed my second favorite player of all time was Seattle
Schooler.
Mariner,
Yep.
Mike Schooler, right? So he knew who Mike Schooler was. But Eric, I've seen this guy do deals. Remember I told you, when we first talked about doing this channel, I was in Cleveland.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
At the National Convention. Scott, I think he sold, what did he sell the second day there? $500,000? He sold a Babe Ruth autographed ball. What was his big sale this year, Bernice? Oh, the autographed ball?
Yeah, the ball.
Either a team signed Yankee ball or just Mantle. It was pristine. He sold a Mantle ball and he sold I think a Hank Aaron ball. He sold 2 or 3 baseballs. He had half to 3/4 million. And he goes, I've made my money.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I'm like, oh, this isn't a mom and pop operation, is it?
Holy crap, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey, before we go anywhere else, maybe we should cover what the Giants did today. How about that? I know everyone wants. I know everybody wants to hear how the Giants did.
And now, today's Giants in Review on Giant Sports Talk Live.
Ramos and McCray both look good today, Eric, but again, it's a pretty slim pickings at the bat with only a modest 5 hits today, only mustering up the 3 runs in the loss.
Yep, and they were threatening, I think, in the 8th inning, right? Yeah, they were threatening the 8th and the 9th inning, and of course, couldn't get it done. As you see, Seattle Mariners pull it out, beat the Giants by another 1-run game, 4-3. Giants are back to good old 500. Woo gets the win. Woo was fantastic. He went 7 strong.
Oh, he had the voodoo going today, Eric. Boy, and you know what? Late in the game, did you notice him late in the game? Late in the game, he didn't look tired. Just occasionally go like this. He just go right back to business. He
throwing 96 in the 7th inning. Yeah,
looked solid.
Unfazed.
Do you remember what Matt Stairs said today about when you give up a home run or you give up or you're in a bat at you strike out and it looked like Wu had all the capability to brush anything off and just take a deep breath and start again.
Yep.
Really see that with his pitching.
And Jelly, he got the loss today. It kind of sucked because of Fitzgerald. Did they change it to an error? No, they didn't. They kept it as a base hit. Fitzgerald, he should have had that ball to be able to turn that double play. Right.
Now, Eric, you'll say I'm exaggerating. And to a degree I am, but hear me out. Every time I see, and you heard what Scott said about Jelly. Well, every time I see Jelly comes in, I see shades of Randy Johnson-esque pitching. Eh?
Yeah.
How can a guy who's 7 feet tall lunge out, throw that ball, and guys are hitting him? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? And Jelly, he's been okay. He hasn't been like lights out, but he's been serviceable. But unfortunately, the defense behind him didn't.
Innings.
Yeah, he's eating innings, but the defense failed behind him, and unfortunately, he couldn't prevent a couple of runs there.
Well,
but,
he did us a disservice today because he didn't pitch. We'll take a look at his pitching a little later on. He took the loss today, Jelly.
Yeah, he did. And
his
Munoz,
numbers were not good. Let's take a look at the hitting, though.
Yeah, let's do it. Here we go. Fitzgerald, no hits today. Not like it was yesterday. I think he had a couple of hits. Wade, no hits. Ramos, 2 hits. One of them being a 2-run shot in the 1st inning.
Yeah,
and that was pretty much it until, well, we'll get down to him in a little bit. Yastrzemski with 1 hit. Strada, no hits. McCray, again, he had 2 hits. One of them being a deep shot to right field. Man, that thing was crushed. Hit the scoreboard there between the 1st and 2nd deck. Got some excitement going, but unfortunately, Giants couldn't capitalize. Casali, 0-4. Canna came in a pinch hit, and he didn't do much.
I'm glad you said that, Eric, about McCray. When McCray, I saw him pop that home run today.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pop off the bat of a small player, isn't it?
Yeah. He's got the bat speed. He's got the bat speed. He doesn't. You don't have to have the muscles, but if you could crank that bat around, good things can happen. And it was nice. He took advantage of a hanging slider and he took him deep. Now, afterwards, though, that pitcher, he wind up getting 2 more guys on base, but then he wound up taking care of business. He struck out. Did he strike out the side? I think think he got 2 strikeouts. Let me see real quick for the Mariners. It was the guy here, Snyder. Yeah, he wound up getting 2 strikeouts.
And back to our hitting, you know what? It was even worse than it looked, Derek. 5 hits. That's not good. But did you see one that wasn't an error? Did you see the bad hop at first base? They couldn't field?
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, so that, we got a couple of lucky bounces.
Yeah.
Amongst those 5 hits.
Correct.
And, that's just weird.
But that's baseball, though. You know what I'm saying?
And it's also Giants baseball, not getting the odd hits here and there and getting blue hits when we don't need them. And then when we need the hit, you're looking in Santa's sack and no hits in there this year. Literally, Eric, our hitting with runners in scoring position is not.
It sucks.
A weekly affair.
Today wasn't as many.
It's been the whole season. We've not been able to produce. We do not have guys who produce under pressure.
No. And another, a highlight, Ramos got his 20th home run. Imagine that, guys. And again, let's go here before we even get to the pitching. You got
that over a full season.
Thank you. This is where I'm going. You decided to throw this kid after 2 weeks of spring training. You decided to throw him back to freaking Sacramento, right? You didn't even know what you had because you never played him. But then as soon as you get an injury and you play him, the guy winds up being an all-star. Not only is he an all-star, the guy could hit close to 30 home runs by the time the end of the season is done. Tell me how bad of a miss that is. How do you not, as a quote-unquote president of baseball operations, understand what you have in your farm system?
Eric, that's not knowing your talent.
Yes, that's correct. And you know what else it is? Where's the communication? Remember, we had that great discussion with Matt Stairs. I talked to him about his role in the team. He accepted what his role was in the team. And I asked him, did you have good communication? He goes, absolutely. That was key, is having good communication. That's part of it. It's for some reason, I don't see it. Look, I'm not in tune with what the team does. I'm just going by what I see and what is transpiring, what is said, and what is actually happening. It doesn't look like there ain't much communication happening down there. I could be wrong. But just the way it looks.
You know what, Eric? That, my friend, summed it up. In our interview with Matt Stairs earlier, that about sums it up how to have a successful career. He worked hard.
Yeah.
He said, I accepted my role. And he goes, I kept my mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you end up playing 19 seasons in the major leagues, Eric.
Yes. And that's not.
As a role player who accepts a role, he goes, what did he say that, remember McFarland, the catcher? When he kind of took him under his arm when he made the majors, and he says, be seen,
not heard,
but not heard. He says, don't try to outshine, the veteran players with your mouth or management.
Yep.
Be seen for what you're doing on the field, and the rest will play. A 19-year career, Eric. I'm still pumped about that interview today, Eric.
Oh man, again,
he won the World Series, and he went to the Olympics and talked about how wearing the Team Canada flag was just, and it was funny. You know what he said about guys? You got to check out that interview. Do yourself a favor. It was a good interview.
That's how I was just saying. Check out that interview that we had with Matt Stairs earlier today. It's a fantastic.
And you know what he said about the Olympic Games? More than playing on the field, he said it was walking into the opening ceremonies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just the what it must be like, because you're representing your country, man. That's a little bit different than no. Don't get me wrong. You still have pride on putting on a team's uniform, but when it's your country's colors, it takes on a little bit different seriousness, if you will.
And he said, Canseco. This is how good the guy was. They called him up from Edmonton in 1996. He said, Canseco was playing a little first base to make room for me. Mm-hmm. But the outfielders were Henderson, Canseco, McGuire, and Stairs.
Yeah, how about that?
Jeez, what a foursome there. And his bat did the talking. Great talk. He relived that home run against the Dodgers in LCS 2008.
I love how he broke it down. The pitch.
He said, I don't remember at bat very well, but there was 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch he threw me.
And then he talked to exactly what he was doing to him. I love it. That was
awesome,
and
he was able to almost theater of the mind. He was telling you what pitch and how he could hit it and how he knew he couldn't hit this pitch and why managers would send in a hand batter against certain pitchers. And wasn't it Eric? I could see this guy being a great manager.
I could. And I just love how and when we get him on again, I really want to get a little bit more into his approach when he took it, because he really broke it. You know how he talked about Randy Johnson? He said he wasn't scared about going to Randy. I may not have had a lot of success, but I had a good approach of what to do, especially being a left-handed batter. What did he say? What manager said it didn't matter? They threw lefties against Randy Johnson. But then again, it was a different type of baseball back then. They didn't set their lineup to, who's the starting pitcher today? So it's going to be an all righty or usually it's not an old lefty lineup.
And guys, if you do a YouTube search of Matt Stairs, our guest, you'll find one of the, there's literally thousands of videos pop up of that home run he hit
it's fantastic.
2008 NLCS against Jonathan Broxton. And he almost hit it at a Dodger Stadium, Eric. It was about 15 rows from going out of the stadium. I've never seen a home run hit that far. And didn't you? One of the coolest things about that is let it play out. Don't shut off the video on YouTube. Watch it and look at the lack of expression on Joe Torre's face. Joe Torre wouldn't move. He wouldn't look at anybody. He was just like, "Oh shit."
yeah, because that was it, man.
Anyway, I got sidetracked. I'll be talking about this interview in my sleep, Eric, because this was a dandy. I had a whole lot of fun doing it with you.
It was.
You left the floor open. I knew the guy somewhat. He and I go back to New Brunswick days when he played ball, and I used to see him around the rink when I was working for the Canadians.
That's awesome, and
he's a big hockey fan.
I tell you what, easy person. The guy was just very personable. He was just down to earth. Dude was awesome.
He changed a little bit. I said to Bernice after the show, I said, geez, I think he rushed home, parked his Harley to be on the show. You see the beard on the guy?
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Anyway, back to the pitching. Let's not get further sidetracked here before we run out of time, Eric.
Only goes 3 innings. As I let off the top of the show, Susan Slusser tweeted, looks like he's going for an MRI tomorrow.
Yeah.
Felt some tightness in his left hamstring. You could see it in the replay. As soon as he delivered the pitch, you could see him grab that hammy. And that's not good. If you're grabbing at the hammy, that's not good. You don't always come back from that right away. Look at how I don't think Conforto's ever come back from his earlier this year. Look, when you grab the hammy, that's not good. That's not just tightness. There's something else going on there. He may be done for the rest of the season.
I knew something was up when it was
Yeah.
there was something wrong there.
So unfortunately he doesn't. So the bullpen had to come in again after they had to come in yesterday for Snell, because Snell only went 3 innings, right? Was it 3? Yeah, 3 innings.
Yeah.
So Jelly had to come in for a 2 2/3. Taylor came in, and then Tyler finished it off. Unfortunately, Giants couldn't get nothing done. It's going to be interesting to what type of move they're going to make as far as the starting rotation now. With I'm sure Ray is probably going to go on the 15-day at the minimum. All right, that's what I'm guessing. So we'll see what happens. Or is it 10 days?
Eric, this is what you get. This is what you get. Screwing around with broken players and saying, "Oh, he'll get healthy in the second half." Eric, this is what This is no real surprise, Eric. Really.
I was surprised.
And you got Cobb. Cobb is not even in our organization anymore. He's in Cleveland.
Yeah, he's on the IL too.
And he's on the IL with a fingernail.
Fractured fingernail.
Well, I guess that would be. I can't crap on anybody. Eric, what kind of pitcher can pitch with a broken, not just a crack? His fingernail. The upper part of his finger is broken. How can you pitch in that situation? Right?
You can't. Alive Insurance says they should shut down right for you. You know what? That's a good point. You know why?
Shut down the whole thing for the year, Eric.
Yeah. And there's a reason why. Because if you got an injury like that, guess what? You're going to start your delivery may change. You may wind up injuring your shoulder, your arm somehow. If you're suffering something, even if it's in your leg, your pitching motion could change a little bit. And next thing you know, there goes a shoulder. There goes your surgically repaired elbow. There goes whatever it may be. So
you're not in a position right now to be rushing players back, Eric.
No. And he can opt out too. Yeah, you're right, Cryptic. He could opt out. I don't see it, but you never know.
Well, take a look.
It's there.
What did I bring to the table tonight, Eric? I've thrown in the towel.
You've thrown in the towel.
Yeah.
Tough, man. Again,
let's ride it out. See what we do.
This is trending to what we thought it was going to be, a 2-4 road trip. They may be able to
3-3. Ugh.
They may be able to squeak one out in in Milwaukee, but Milwaukee's a good team. They're a better team.
How
than
good
the
is
Seattle
Milwaukee, though? Let's take a look at the standings, Eric. Or not the standings, out-of-town scoreboard first.
Let's do that.
Want to do that?
And now, a Giant Sports Talk Live scoreboard update.
You do.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Let me refresh it.
Refresh.
Right here. Look at that. Giants had a chance to capitalize, but it didn't happen. Nationals beat the Braves 5-1 in Atlanta. Looks like there was a rally in the seventh that allowed the Nationals to pull away. But that was a game that the Giants could have gained on the Braves. Not to be so.
Yeah. Oh, well, going to see a lot of that today. Eugenio Suarez, he had a go-ahead 3-run home run. He helped the Diamondbacks complete a sweep today, Eric. A sweep at Fenway. And they won 7-5. Diamondbacks, boy, they're getting hot. And a bit later on, we're going to talk about the Padres and another hot ball team. The cream's starting to rise to the top, Eric.
What? The Diamondbacks and the Padres have been playing great ball. Diamondbacks hit a little bit of a skid, just a little bit, but they're back in their winning ways.
They are.
When we look at the standings, we'll see what they've done in their last 10. In Pittsburgh, hey, matter of fact, Matt Stairs playing PNC.
His favorite ballpark.
Yes. Pirates pull out a win against the Reds. Look at that. Yasmani Grandal, 2-run home run, walks it up for the Pirates. So, that's pretty cool. I asked him if he ever hit it in Allegheny. He said he got close. That's
close. You know what? We could always play the 6 degrees of Matt Stairs now because he's got some kind of a connection to everything in baseball now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
We asked him about his favorite ballparks. We even asked him about hitting at Candlestick compared to the Pac Bell. And he broke down the wind currents. It was pretty cool, wasn't it? And how Sosa would hit it here because he knew the wind would carry it.
The wind would carry it. Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
I love that.
Cool.
That's the part of the game that, not everyday player or everyday fans.
We don't think about that.
Yeah, we're not. The players, of course, they are because they're, you got your teammates. They see what they're doing. Okay, I see what their approach is because they got that conversation. They got that relationship, and it's awesome to hear. Art Howe, thank you. That's who it was. Spencer, much appreciated.
Yeah, he mentioned
Howe that
Art
said,
Howe.
Go ahead and he'll throw lefty or throw a left-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, he goes if his manager Art Howe is comfortable. Because we talked about that too. Talked about Moneyball, and he said no. I think he agrees like us, Eric. He was very much in agreement that there's a time and a place.
Yes.
But you can't live it, and it's not the be-all.
Yes, it's not the foundation.
Yeah.
Right. What happened?
Well, I'll tell you what, Eric. I know who the foundation of the 77-win New York Yankees is, and that would be one Mr. I didn't sign with the Giants, Aaron Judge, who hit 2 home runs today, Eric. A 10-3 win, Judge.
He's going to hit 60.
He's getting more powerful as the year goes. He's eating his Wheaties.
He's hitting 60 again. He's going to hit 60 again this year. Unbelievable, man.
Yeah, it made a winner of Marcus Stroman, who's 9-6. But the story in the day, Judge and that bat. Check that bat. It must be. Well, that's what Matt Stairs says. Maybe it's corked. 10-3, Yankees win. Aaron Judge has 2 more home runs. That's amazing.
Unbelievable. Blue Jays.
And he wouldn't sign here.
Wall up the Angels. It's kind of a nothing game. But again, Blue Jays, they beat the Angels 8-2.
You're getting the real snoozers today, aren't you?
Yeah,
Eric?
I know, man. Gosh.
Throwing it right back to me. I got to be on the ball for you. Let's see. It was a 7-2 Miami victory over the Chicago Cubs. Just looking up one quick stat here, if you'll allow me, Eric.
Go for it.
The leadoff hitter for the Miami Marlins is Connor Norby. He went 3 for 4 with a solo home run, a double, and 3 runs scored in a 7-2 win over the Cubs.
That is a guy.
He led off the game.
That is a guy that the Giants could have got if they traded freaking Blake Snell.
Yeah,
and man, that's who they got. Remember with that trade with who did they get? Who did the Baltimore get? Because they traded. That was a Baltimore guy. Norby was a Baltimore guy.
Yeah, he missed. He had a double, triple home run. Missed the cycle, or a single, double home run. He missed the cycle by a triple today, Eric. So the bat was going, and 3 for 4. What a great day for him. 7-2.
Gosh, dang it, man.
Marlins. The Guardians. We're looking for win number 75. Eric, did they get it today?
They did.
Did they?
Back to Norby. I gotta go again.
Oh, now you're hooked on. See,
it's one game.
A stat out now. Eric's on a tangent.
No, it's not even. It's one game. I get it, but that's a young kid that the Giants could have traded for at the deadline.
Oh, I know.
Anyways, yes, Guardians did win. They got their 75th win against the Texas Rangers. David Fry, their catcher, actually, he's everything. He does everything, but I think pitch, to be honest with you. They were able to score 4 runs against the Rangers 2. They come away with the victory in Cleveland, as I said, with a score of 4-2.
There's no other franchise in baseball, Eric, I believe, that suffers from missed opportunity. When something is handed, picture the servant. He's got the silver tray, the silver platter. Here it is. And you don't accept it, Eric. What are we going to have at Shellbox? Nothing.
Nothing. Now you get nothing. You get nothing.
What do we have?
And not only do you get nothing, you sacrificed a second round pick, the second or third round, because I can't remember. I think it was second. It was a third round pick. You sacrificed a third round pick so that he can walk in the offseason. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, skin in the dead cat here, Eric. But this is the same crap over and over we talk about, and it's true. When you throw out that name Norby and you go, "Oh, geez, what a great acquisition he would have been, Eric."
Would have been.
And you go,
why not?
Well, next year we'd rather have nothing than Norby.
Yeah, nothing than Norby. That sounds like a song.
True. The Tigers over the White Sox. Here's one I'm going to just jump off the train quick. 9-4, Tigers with the win.
Yeehaw. And in Kansas City, well, how's that go? How's that Kansas City?
It's always a great day for baseball. I don't even know why I say that, Eric. I'm not a big fan of Kansas City. It's just one day I said it and we went with it. Always a great day for baseball in Kansas City, unless you're a Royals fan today.
Yeah, look at that. Phillies destroyed the Royals. They destroyed them yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Phillies put on 11 runs off 16 hits. They destroyed the Royals 11-3. My goodness. And they had their ace on the mound, Lugo, talking about the Royals. But
see the Twins and the Cardinals were in a tightly contested pitching matchup to the 9th. It was 1-1, Eric. Minnesota scored in the 1st. St. Louis scored in the 5th. I beg your pardon. So Minnesota scored in the 8th inning. They had a 2-1 lead, Eric, heading to the 9th. 3 outs away from victory. When the man with arguably the greatest name in baseball, Lars Nootbaar, he had a 2-run single, and the Cardinals rallied for the win.
Yeah,
Final
how about
score,
that?
St. Louis 3, Minnesota 2. The Twins were playing this afternoon, picked up their 72nd win of the year. And when we look at the standings, we'll briefly, because it's Sunday night, we'll quickly take a look at the American League. Twins are in one hell of a fight over there for a playoff.
Yes, they are. And in Oakland, the Brewers fell to the Athletics. The A's beat them 4-3. Brewers, again, a 75-win team. That is our next opponent. When I mean by our, I'm talking about the San Francisco Giants. Will be flying, or they probably already there. They're already in Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they're watching the show, Eric.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Hey, guys. I didn't mean to crap on you all the time. Actually, it was Eric, not me.
The Brewers will be facing off against the Giants in Milwaukee on Tuesday.
I ain't taking the blame if the guys are watching. It's all that guy. So I'm here backing you up.
Yeah, there you go. You're only a block away, so you got to play it cool.
I always used to say that on the other channel. I'm like, guys, you crap on them all the time. I jump on your bandwagon, and then I got to show up. They recognize me. Anyway, what else do we got? Oh, the Padres. You know what I was thinking today, Eric? The Padres, who beat the Mets today, 3-2, somewhat of a favor for us, even though we lost. Padres post the victory. Do you know that they still don't have Tatis and they don't have Yu Darvish? They continue to win like the Braves somewhat with an injury-riddled team. What happens when they get healthy, Eric?
Keep winning. But look who
Jackson Merrill.
Who was the hero of the day?
Home run. 3-2 Padres with the win.
Your National League Rookie of the Year. That's what I'm saying. I'm calling it. That's not
there
that
you go.
Look, it's not it's not no great take or anything, but yeah, he's going to be your National League Rookie of the Year. There's no doubt about it.
The Mariners we mentioned with the 4-3 win, so jump down to the Dodgers. Let's just move it along.
And in LA, Dodgers beat the Rays. Imagine that, 3-1. Really nothing to talk about. They 78th win 78th win. Where's the Phillies? Hold on. 76. So I think Dodgers got the best record in baseball, right? If I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Yeah, Mookie Betts had a 2-run home run in the 8th inning.
Yep.
In a close 3-1 game. I'm just curious.
Not many hits, though. Only 5 hits for both teams.
Yeah. Shohei Ohtani, 0 for 3.
You're kidding me. No home run?
Is he battling an injury? I've heard rumors that he is
battling an injury. The guy just hit 2 home runs.
I heard he's going to miss some time. Maybe we'll
really
maybe more on that tomorrow.
Really? We'll have to find out.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
Baltimore,
by the way, Gavin Stone was the winning pitcher. No, I'm sorry. He started that game. He gave up 3 hits, pitched 7, and because it was close, Blake Trinan, formerly of the East Bay team, the Oakland A's, he got the win in that game. So, you know what? The Dodgers build it the right way. And, you know, win or lose during the season, guys are like, oh, they're not going to win the division. Oh, they're going to get caught. Oh, my God, they won the division. They build it for the postseason. They're building it the right way over there in L.A.
And Hope says Shohei got injured. We'll have to, I guess there'll be more on that. We'll have to keep an eye on
There you go. There you go. You heard it here first, Eric.
Wow. And what happened in Baltimore?
Oh, jeez. All right, the Astros. They beat the Orioles by a score of 6-3. I'm quickly going to check and see if there was anything consequential. Back-to-back home runs.
Back-to-backs,
Alex Bregman and Yadier Diaz pushed the Astros to the victory. So I was more worried today. I got up. I was in a good mood, had a good sleep. I was ready for Giants baseball, win the series. Then our interview with Matt Stairs, and we had to gather up our thoughts for the interview because it did not go well this afternoon again, Eric.
No, look at that. Gravy had $250 on the Astros. Woo!
Hey, Gravy.
Man. Wow.
Well, your gravy train did not roll into the station today, my friend. Well, did he just have what did he have? Was it a parlay or just the win? Because I don't know whether it couldn't have been that heavy a favorite.
I don't know.
It wasn't a big winning ticket, was it? If Gravy wants to share.
Oh, Kikuchi. Also, Kikuchi was pitching. Gotcha. Who was pitching for Orioles? I don't even know, to be honest with you, who was pitching for Orioles. All right, let's take a look at the standings. How about that? Yeah, I saw that.
Huge. All right, quick look at the standings before we sign off for the night, Eric.
I believe there's going to be a change with the Giants. That's what I'm guessing.
Oh, jeez.
That's what I'm guessing.
Can we start with the American League?
Yeah, let's do it right here.
I'm just curious because that is a heck of a race going on between the Twins, Royals, Red Sox.
Yeah, these are the 2 teams, right? Well, hold on. You want to go to here? Let's go to standings.
Wild card.
You want to do wild card? Okay. You got the Baltimore Orioles who are in the number 1 wild card.
Yeah.
Minnesota Twins and the Kansas City Royals are tied for 2nd and 3rd. Well, whatever. They're tied. 1's 2nd, 1's 3rd. But they both got the identical record.
You want to win that wild card. You want to win it, Eric.
Yeah.
You want to win it.
Yes.
You know, you don't want to be going into 1 games and 2 out of 3s and all that crap. You want to be in there, solidify for best of 5 series, and
yes,
you know, let it play out that way.
Boston 4.5 behind. Look at that. They're 5 games above 500. They're 4.5 behind. There's a lot of competition in the AL.
And that's Eric. That's why I touched on it today in the interview. That's why I said and with Scott, I like the extra playoff teams, Eric. You know what it's like it must be like when you're a player and we're playing 15 games over 500.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't win our division and we did make the play. But in another division, the team that won the division, let's say Minnesota, had like 19 less wins than us, but they won the division, so they're in. I like the way this gives other teams the opportunity, Eric. If you're a winning team, despite your division.
Yeah. Gotcha. And I get that. But again, I just don't like people like Farhan who think they could get in with a 500 record.
Eric, that's the problem. There you go. There you go, my friend. What did you just say? Oh, we just get in with a
just
5.
Get in. Yeah.
You shouldn't be building your team just to get in every year.
Thank you. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Gravy, he says Orioles are looking very fraudulent. That's why I wanted the Giants to trade Blake Snell, because Creamer ain't it, dude. Creamer ain't it.
The Orioles had an opportunity to pick up some pitching, especially from the Giants. That Snell deal, I think, there are a couple of pitchers around the league that put a team that's in the running, Eric, could have made a move and boy, I'll tell you, wouldn't you go to the postseason as a solid club, a contender? Say, yeah, we just picked up Blake Snell. Well, just for example, one, you could have picked up more. You go into a postseason with a Snell added to your rotation.
Oh yeah, you're
what are you thinking if you're Baltimore? Again, I'm not going to harp on it too long, but what did Matt Stairs say about that today, Eric? It's trade day. You got a good club. You're heading to the postseason, and your management did nothing. What did he say?
Yeah, it's a downer, man. He doesn't. He wanted to use some choice words, I think.
Yeah, I said, how does that? You actually asked. I think he said, "Oh, what's it like in the dressing room the day of the trade deadline?"
I asked that question on behalf of Ibrahim. He's the one that came up with this in that question.
That's right.
Chat. He was fantastic. Says Farhan can't even get in. He's so bad. Exactly. You've had the last 2 seasons with this extra wild card, and the Giants aren't even close to getting to that third. All right,
I don't know about this gravy. Snell just be walking people to death. I think that you have Snell in the postseason. Oh Jesus! You think Baltimore wouldn't want to have him right now, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, of course he'd be on a short leash if he starts doing that a lot. Don't get me wrong, but come on, the guy has been winner. He's been lights out.
Cy Young Award winner, Eric.
Yeah.
And he threw a no-hitter this year. I mean, the guy's a winner.
He is. Now, that outing in Seattle, I think is not the norm. It was the exception. Unfortunately, it happened at a bad time for when the Giants are trying to make a run. That's just the way it is. All right, let's go to the National League.
Do we have to?
Oh, they're tied now. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Arizona Diamondbacks still sitting atop. San Diego Padres in the second spot. Atlanta Braves still holding on to that third wild card, with the New York Mets still 2.5 behind. The Giants are still 5 games behind. Cardinals 5 games behind. They're tied with the San Francisco Giants.
All right, Eric. Atlanta Braves, New York Mets. If we've fallen by the wayside, I've thrown in the towel. Braves, Mets, who gets in, and do you even care?
Ooh.
Or do you even care?
That'd be some exciting baseball, though. It'll be exciting for baseball. Honestly, think about it. If you have because remember that happened a couple of years ago. Didn't the Mets knock the Braves out of the first? They knocked them out of the division, if I'm not mistaken, right? But it'll be exciting I'm talking about just for baseball. I'm not talking about for Giants. In baseball in general, it'll be fun to watch the Braves and the Mets trying to battle it out for that third wild card.
And guess what, Eric? The second to last series of September, Mets at Braves for 3, then the Mets go to the Brewers.
Ooh, that could be something.
And okay, we got one more thing I'll look up here quickly. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know these off the top of our head, but let's see. Ooh. So there you have it. Mets play the Braves. The Royals head to Atlanta to play the Braves to close the season. Okay. So the two clubs meet for 3. The Royals then head to Atlanta. Royals head to Atlanta, and the New York Mets play the Brewers.
Wow, it's going to be right to
the a tight race, isn't it?
It's going to be tight.
The Mets got 100%. The Phillies for 6. Ooh, but they got the Nationals. You know what? And the Mets got the Blue Jays. Oh, Eric, this could come down to the final weekend.
That's what's fun. That's what I like about it. I like those fun races, those tight races at the end. Oh, man.
An off day tomorrow. Guys, an off day tomorrow, but we're still going to take a quick look at your schedule so you can join us for Giants Sports Talk Live, the morning edition. Do yourselves a favor. If you got time over the next few days with no Giants baseball, check out the video that's up. We had a special edition of the show earlier today when we talked to Matt Stairs. He talked about back when the Giants were in their heyday. He says, yeah, you know how the Giants made their 2010 run?
2010, yeah.
Beat us on the last day of the season to get in.
Yeah, that was something. I'll never forget that. That was huge.
And that was down at Petco. So he was talking about that game, and he brought a lot of great takes. And you know what? Got to give it to the guys who are somewhat of our regulars. A lot of the guys had good questions that we actually threw up on the screen, and he tackled them. He said, I won't I won't sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell it like it is. So guys had questions, and he had the answers. It was a great show. I'm really happy we pulled that together.
And we'd like to thank our soldiers. We'd like to thank our sponsors.
I'd like to thank our soldiers.
Yeah, I'd like to do that too. Signatures for Soldiers is our sponsor. Organization helps out disabled vets and also homeless vets. Great organization. They sell signed collectibles, and they donate all their funds to help veterans, which is absolutely fantastic.
And Matt's going to get me some stuff for them. Lefties over in Burlingame and Duxwell Printing, also proud sponsors of the show. We will be on the air tomorrow night. Not much Giants baseball to talk. We'll be doing our regular routine out-of-town scoreboard standings. It'll be a free-for-all. We'll go to the chat as often as we can.
Yep.
And what was the other thing? There's something else I wanted to add to this show before we signed off, Eric.
Yeah, how about this? You doing anything next Sunday? All right, there you go.
That is 1 week away. And I remembered now, just before we sign off, I remember what it was I wanted to mention today, Eric.
There you go.
Today, August 25th. Today wraps up our first month on the air.
Hey, look at that.
Our anniversary. Happy anniversary, Eric.
Hey, how about that? 1 month. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's cool.
4 weeks of programming on Giant Sports Talk Live. And Eric, good thing about September is, it's more work, but there's even more programming soon to come.
Coming soon, Northern California's newest home for the best sports coverage. The evolution of Bay Area sports. The Golden State Warriors, San Francisco Giants, San Jose Sharks, the 49ers, sports commentary, and more. Start your day and end your day with the Bay Area's best sports coverage. All sports, all year long. Coming soon. A Northern Lights Entertainment production.
"24 hours, Eric. 24-hour sports and entertainment coming soon. Giant Sports Talk Live will be a part of the new channel, but it's going to be the biggest channel in the Bay Area. It'll be all Bay Area sports all the time, 24 hours a day. We're going to be happy to be a part of that. I got texts coming in wishing us a happy anniversary. Thanks, guys. You know what? It's been a whole lot of fun and more to come, Eric. I'll see you bright and early, Eric, at 7, guys, tomorrow night at 8. Have a great day.
Absolutely. And Cryptic, emails are being sent out as we speak. Has everyone's email. So be looking for an email with all the pertinent information concerning the fantasy football. All right.
Night, Mom.
See you in the morning, Glenn. We'll see you, chat, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.